So this is gonna be a new little series on the channel where I basically review albums that I've never listened to or never gave a chance. Now I know what you're saying, there's albums you've never heard before? Well, yeah, I can't hear every single album in the world, but what I can do is listen to the ones that I know or didn't know about. And this is going to be focusing on albums I've heard in 2024, way after they came out. And I'm sure there will be ones I hear in 2025 that are way past the release date. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Today's album will be Quadra by Sepultura. Now, one day I was listening to some Sepultura and I came across what could be considered their final album since they are retiring, and I gave it a listen, and man, was I surprised at how good this thing was. So this is a concept album, but not the traditional concept album where it has an overall story, no. Instead, Quadra takes a different approach, and instead it's more of a concept of sound. And what do I mean by that? Well, the album consists of 12 songs, and for each set of four of the tracks, it has a distinct sound, so four songs will sound similar, but then the next set of four will sound similar, yet somehow a lot different than the other four, and that repeats throughout the whole album. It's actually kind of genius, and it also makes sense when you consider that the theme they're going for is the quadrivium, which is basically a set of four of any kind of art, and it definitely shows in each of the three sections on this album. So we have section one, which is thrash focus with isolation, means to an end, last time, and capital enslavement. Capital enslavement is probably my favorite track out of all four of this section, particularly the opening because it has that nice tribal element and the drums and the chanting vocals, which Sepultura is always great at, and the way it leads into the riff and the vocals is incredible. And the other three tracks are pretty good, though there's not really much to say with them as track four, but good section. Alright, and then after that we have section two, which kind of has a more nu metal slash groove metal sound to it, and Guardians of Earth, aka track seven, I would have to say is the one I like the most out of section two. Now the reason being because it not only has a good opening that leads right into the actual song, but also the melody, the riffs, and the choir backing vocals, especially in the last minute of the song, are just amazing. Though, if I had to nitpick, I would say that the intro maybe goes on a bit too long, but regardless, the song still goes pretty hard. And like section one, I like the other songs, but they don't really have a whole lot to go off of. I mean, there is track 8, the Pentagram, but that one is an instrumental track, and the riffs are good, but not really a whole lot to talk about. So, section 2 definitely keeps the momentum of the album going. And last but not least, section 3 with the last four tracks on here. And I would describe this section as sort of combining the first two into one, and surprisingly, it actually kind of works. Though there are only three actual songs in this section, as track 10, the title track, is an interlude, but anyways, Autumn kind of has a cool thrash sound to it and is a good song. Fear, Pain, Chaos, Suffering is a good one as well. That has a guest vocalist this time, Emily Barreto, which hopefully I didn't butcher, but she's pretty good on this track. And is it just me, or does this song sound a lot like The Thing That Should Not Be from Metallica? Hmm. But let's get back on course. So, my favorite is definitely Agony of Defeat, and why I really like this one is because the melody, the slow groove, the riff, the choir vocals, and the actual vocals, because I feel on this song Derek Green really shines with his performance as a singer, and I'm sorry, that chorus is way too damn catchy. So section 3 is pretty good as well. So this is definitely an album I can't believe I never listened to all these years, and it came out in 2020, 4 years ago, which is ironic now that I think about it. But for real, I don't know why I never checked this thing out before. Well, you know what? I'm glad I finally did. I mean, it's like they say, better late than never. So my final rating for this album is going to be an 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good. And I would highly recommend giving it a listen if you're like me and somehow never heard it. But that is going to do it for today, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and as always, I will see you all next time.